Hello everyone. So far we have seen what is the theory of sedimentation, what is hydrometer method, and what is the relationship between the corrected hydrometer reading and the percentage final. Okay, so it is well known to us. Now we are going to see how we have derived this relationship between these two terms, that is corrected hydrometer reading and the percentage final. Before we go through this whole derivation, I would like to give you some terms. Okay, if you want to understand this derivation thoroughly, then we should know the exact meaning of this term. Out of that, very first term is MS, that is nothing but a capital MS. The capital MS is nothing but the mass of a solid particles in soil suspension of volume V. Okay, when we see this term or when we look at this term, it is nothing but the mass of solid particles throughout the volume of suspension. So it is going to remain constant, it is not going to change. Okay, so whatever be the total mass in that total volume of the suspension, that is MS. So MS is mass of solid. The next term is small ms, that is nothing but capital MS divided by V. That is nothing but the concentration of this mass of solid particles per ml of a suspension. So it is related to the concentration of a solid particles. The next term is capital MD. MD is nothing but the mass of solid particles at certain level after certain time t as the sedimentation progresses. Okay, so MD is a mass. The next term is small md, that is nothing but the capital MD divided by total volume of the suspension. Small ms is nothing but the concentration of a solid particles in total volume of the soil suspension. Okay, so all the solid particles are going to remain in that same volume. Okay, so if we consider this ms term, then it is not going to change. But when we consider md, that is nothing but a small md, it is the concentration of a solid particles at a certain level after certain time t. Okay, so as sedimentation progresses, some of the particle will settle and some of the particle will not settle, they will be remain in suspension. Okay, so that particular mass after certain time t at a certain level, okay, that is nothing but the md. So it is going to change, that will not remain constant, and depending on that there will be the change in a specific gravity or density of the soil suspension. Okay, and that will be indicated by the hydrometer. Okay, so that's why all of this term need to be understood. Now, as I said, when we start the sedimentation analysis, first of all the soil suspension will be thoroughly mixed. Okay, so because of that all the soil particles will be present throughout the depth of the soil suspension. So the specific gravity or the density of the soil suspension is uniform. Okay, so throughout the depth the specific gravity will be same or the density will be same. So this soil suspension will consist of mass of solid particles and mass of water and some dispersion agent, okay, whose concentration will be much lesser. So as we know, the density of any material is nothing but the mass upon volume. So the initial density of the soil suspension can be given as rho I is equal to ms, that is nothing but the mass of solid particles plus mass of water divided by total volume. Okay, that is nothing but the volume of soil suspension. Okay, the concentration of the dispersion agent is negligible. Okay, so that's why it is neglected. So again, if I simplified this, then I can simply write it as ms by v plus mw by v. If we want to determine the concentration of a mass of a water in the soil suspension, then first of all we have to determine the concentration or volumetric concentration of these solid particles. As we know, when we conduct the sedimentation analysis, we will take 1 liter of a soil suspension or 1000 ml of a soil suspension. Okay, so when we deduct this concentration of volume of a solids from this 1 liter, we will get the concentration of volume of water. When this volume of water or when this concentration of volume of water is multiplied with density of water, that will give us the concentration of this mass of water. So let us try that in a mathematical way. First of all, we will find out the concentration of volume of solids. Okay, so as we know, volume of solids, let us go through the some definition, that is rho s is equal to ms by vs. G is nothing but the rho s by rho w. So depending on this, rho s is nothing but the G multiplied by rho w. Okay, so when we consider the volume of solids is equal to ms, mass of solids, divided by rho s. Okay, so this rho s can be replaced by this term, so that's why ms divided by G multiplied by rho w, that will give us volume of solids. Now let us find out the concentration of volume of solids, that is nothing but the total volume of solids divided by volume of suspension. So that can be written as volume of solids divided by total volume. Okay, so simply ms divided by G multiplied by rho w divided by V. Okay, so it can be written as ms divided by V multiplied by G multiplied by rho w. So as to find out this volumetric concentration of water, we have to deduct volumetric concentration of this solid particle from the volumetric concentration of a total soil suspension. Okay, so as we know, the volume of soil suspension is 1 divided by the total volume, that is 1, minus volumetric concentration of these solid particles, that is nothing but ms divided by V multiplied by G into rho w. So this is the volumetric concentration of water, okay, in soil suspension of 1 liter. When we multiply this volumetric concentration with the density of that water, then that will give us mass concentration of water in that soil suspension. So that's why mass of water divided by total volume is equal to 1 by 1, this 1, minus ms divided by V into G multiplied by rho w multiplied by rho w. Okay, so this is mass concentration of water. So as we know, rho I, that is nothing but initial density of the soil suspension, is equal to ms by V plus mw by V. So replacing this term by this equation, okay, so it will be equal to ms by V plus rho w. This rho w and this rho w will get cancelled. Again simplifying this, rho I is equal to ms by V plus rho w minus ms divided by V into G. Okay, so rho I is equal to rho w plus ms by V. Taking this term common from these two terms, we will get 1 minus 1 by G. Okay, if we again simplify this, then we will get rho I is equal to rho w plus ms by V G minus 1 by G. So this is the initial density of this soil suspension. Now we know that rho I, that is nothing but the initial density of soil suspension, is nothing but rho W plus ms by V multiplied by G minus 1 divided by G. Okay. So this is the initial density of the soil suspension. At the starting of the sedimentation, all the soil suspension will be thoroughly mixed. So when it is mixed thoroughly, all the soil particles will be present throughout the depth of the soil suspension, and because of that there will be the uniform density of a soil suspension. It means that the density at any level in the soil suspension will be same, or the specific gravity of the liquid or the soil suspension will be same. But as time passes, the sedimentation also progresses. So some of the particles which are larger in size will settle down, and because of that there will be the non-uniform density of the soil suspension. Some of the particles which are lighter in size will remain in upper layer, and some of the particles which are more in size will settle down. Suppose Md is nothing but the mass of a solid particles which are at certain level after certain time t. Then the density of that liquid, or at that level, the density of the soil suspension at that level can be found out just by replacing this term. All other terms will remain constant, just we have to replace this ms by Md. When we consider ms is nothing but the solid particles in total volume of a soil suspension. When we consider Md is nothing but the mass of particles at a certain level after certain time t as the sedimentation progress. So if we want to determine the density at a certain level, then just we have to replace this ms by Md. So rho is equal to rho W plus Md divided by V into G minus 1 divided by G. This capital Md by V can be replaced by the small md. So rho is equal to rho W plus Md multiplied by G minus 1 divided by G. Now we know what is the definition of percentage finer. N is nothing but, as per the hydrometer method, N is equal to small md divided by small ms multiplied by 100. So md is equal to N multiplied by ms divided by 100. Okay, so now replacing this term by this term. So rho is equal to rho W plus N ms divided by 100 multiplied by G minus 1 divided by G. Okay, so that will be the density of a liquid at a certain level. As we are interested in finding out the percentage finer, rho minus rho W is equal to N multiplied by ms by 100 multiplied by G minus 1 divided by G. Now N is equal to rho minus rho W multiplied by G divided by G minus 1 multiplied by 100 divided by ms. Okay, so if we again simplify this, then we can write it as N is equal to, now as we know, when we take the reading on the hydrometer, on the left side of the hydrometer like this, we will take it as RH RHL, that is nothing but the hydrometer reading on left side, is equal to RH minus 1 multiplied by 1000. Okay, so that is nothing but rho minus rho W multiplied by 1000. Okay, and this is RHL. Now if we want to replace this term, then what we have to do is RHL minus 1000 is equal to rho minus rho W, isn't it? So I will replace this term by this term. So how we can write it? N is equal to 100 multiplied by 1 by small ms multiplied by g minus 1 multiplied by RH, or we can simply write it as a R divided by 1000. This ms is nothing but capital MS divided by V. Okay, so instead of writing this, I will write this. So N is equal to 100 multiplied by V divided by capital MS G minus 1 divided by G divided by G minus 1 multiplied by R by 1000. But as we know, this V, that is nothing but the volume of suspension, is nothing but 1000 ml. So instead of V, I will write it as 1000. Okay, so this 1000 and this 1000 will get cancelled, and we will get N is equal to G divided by G minus 1 multiplied by R by MS multiplied by 100. Okay, so this is nothing but the formula for a relationship between this corrected hydrometer reading and the percentage final. If we look at the term of this formula, then G is nothing but the specific gravity of a solids that is known to us. R is nothing but a hydrometer reading, okay, that will be available with us. MS is nothing but the mass of a solid particles in the total soil suspension. That is nothing but the phi's that we have taken for this conducting this sedimentation analysis. So that's all about this relationship between percentage final and hydrometer reading. This is how we have derived this. Next part is limitation of sedimentation analysis. So as we perform the sedimentation analysis, we will get percentage final and a particle size for that particular percentage final. This particle size is nothing but the equivalent diameter of that particle. That will be thickness rather than its length or width. And this particle size is somewhat lesser than the particle size that may be provided by the sieve analysis. While finding this percentage final, we use a certain term, that is nothing but a specific gravity of a solid particles in a soil suspension. Okay, this specific gravity of a solid particle we assume somewhat average specific gravity, but each and every particle may have different specific gravity. Okay, so that is the one of the limitation of this sedimentation analysis. Another most important thing is that while deriving the Stokes law or while deriving the equation based on the Stokes law, we have assumed that the fluid or the liquid in which the particle is settling is of infinite extent. It means that its length is infinite, its width is infinite, and its depth is also infinite. But while we conduct the experiment, we conduct the test in a small jar of 1000 ml capacity. Okay, so there will be the somewhat boundaries of a jar. So that will also affect our result. Another thing is that while deriving the Stokes law, we assume that a certain particle is settling in a vertical direction. Okay, like this. But as there are so many particles within the soil suspension, there will be the interference between these two particles. Okay, and because of that, the process of a settling may get affected. That is also a source of error. Another thing is that when the particle size is greater than 0.2 mm, it will cause turbulent condition in the soil suspension. In such case, Stokes' law is not valid. Just like that, if the particle size is smaller than 0.2 micron, okay, that will cause Brownian movement. As per the Stokes' law, when we derive the Stokes' law, the particle settles vertically in downward direction. But in case of a Brownian movement, the particle may travel horizontal, it may travel vertical, or it may travel in inclined direction. Okay, so that doesn't settle as per the Stokes' law. Okay, so that will cause a problem. Another thing is that this sedimentation analysis process we cannot use for the chalky soil. Why? Because we use hydrochloric acid, and that hydrochloric acid removes calcium carbonate. Okay, basically we use hydrochloric acid so as to eliminate the organic content in the soil, but that will reduce calcium carbonate. So that will not provide true picture of this sedimentation analysis. So these are the limitations of sedimentation analysis. If we consider the fines, the particle sizes which are smaller than 75 micron, they are considered as fines. Okay, and their index properties are generally dependent on the plasticity characteristic of it. So the sedimentation analysis or the particle size is not that much of importance in case of a soil which are smaller than 75 micron. Okay, but the main use of the sedimentation analysis is to find out the clay fraction. Okay, that is nothing but the particles which are having size smaller than 0.2 micron. Okay, so that will indicate the clay fraction. So for that we perform the sedimentation analysis. As we know, the activity of a soil is nothing but the IP by C. IP is the plasticity index, C is a clay fraction. So this activity is indicative of engineering property, or it indicates what type of minerals are present within the soil sample. Okay, so that is indicated by the activity of soil, and for that we need the clay fraction, the percentage of the clay fraction, and that can be identified by this sedimentation analysis. So this is what the significance of the sedimentation analysis in case of a soil fraction which is smaller than 75 micron.